Hi families. So in the last video, I talked to you a little bit about how we look at addition with our standard algorithm and some of the language that we use, also representing it with base 10 blocks. In this video, I want to show you a little bit more about how we do subtraction, because sometimes kids have a little bit of a harder time with subtraction, but we really focus on how the understanding of addition can help us with subtraction, and really seeing that subtraction is just about finding difference. So if you recall back from our problem that we saw today, once we found out that there were 431 boxes for the particular numbers that I was coming up with, we then had to take some boxes out. So we had to do the subtraction and figure out what the difference was going to be, which is the boxes left in the warehouse. So we've got our 431 boxes that are now in the warehouse, but we want to take some out as well. So I'm going to go ahead and come up with some numbers here. I'm going to say I'm taking out 165 going out for delivery. And again, some kids might look at this and say, well, if I started with 431, I'm taking out 165. I think it's going to be about 300 something. Oh, but it's going to have to be less than 300 because in fact, I'm also going below 400 just when I take out the 65. So sometimes kids will split numbers up and again go for that estimation. When I'm looking at this, again, I'm going to be talking about some of the different language. So once again, of course, we're starting with our ones, and this is where it's really helpful to see the number laid out, because a lot of kids, as we know, will try to say, well, what's 5 take away 1? And we know you can't just go backwards with our numbers when we're subtracting. So then it's really helpful for them to see that, well, no, you can't just do 5 take away 1 because we don't have 5. All we have is one little one. So we can't do 1 take away 5. And that's where we really get the idea that we're going to need to do a trade. And you'll notice that I'm saying again, trade, not borrowing. We're not borrowing anything to give it back later on. In this case, I need to do a trade. So I'm going to have to take one of my sets of 10 out of 431. I'm going to break that up because I need it to be some ones. So I'm going to trade it in for 10 ones. Okay. And often I'll get the kids just to lay things out just to make sure that they actually have the right number of pieces there. There we go. We can see it's exactly the same thing. So I'm going to trade that in. I've gotten rid of that. So now I only have 2 sets of 10, in fact, but I actually have 11 ones. So we put our 1 over here just to show that now I'm dealing with 11 ones minus 5 ones. So when I take those 5 out, I can see that there's going to be 6 left. And I usually ask them to put this piece aside, whatever they're taking out. Okay, so this is going to be what we're actually removing. So we've got 6 left. And now we do the same thing. So we've got 2 sets of 10. We're supposed to take away 6. Again, can't do that. So in this case, it's the same thing. I just need to do a trade. If I need more 10s, here's where I'm going to get them. So I'm going to have to get rid of one of my sets of 100. Now I only have 3, but I'm trading it in. I'm not borrowing. I'm trading it physically for 10 10s. So there's my 10 10s. And again, I can do my check. Yep, I do in fact have the exact same amount. So now I've got a total of 12 10s. So now I'm looking at this and saying, okay, well, what's 12 take away 6? And of course, kids know their doubles quite well. So they're saying, well, if you have 12 and you take away 6, if I put that over here, then I just have the other 6 left. Okay, there we go. And then the last piece we need to do is with our hundreds. I'm going to be taking my 300s. Yes, I can take away 100 from that. I don't need to do any more trading. So I'm going to take that away. Oh, I'm taking away, yeah, 100. So I'm going to have 266 left over. There we go. So now what the nice thing is, as well as I can really see my different parts to the number. So when I took away, when I started with 431, when I took away 266, I was still left with the 165, which then I could combine back together, and of course I get my 431 again. So really helps us seeing that addition and subtraction, the exact opposites, but when we're looking at it with the algorithm, we're not borrowing, we're doing trading for the actual values that we need. I hope that was helpful. Send me a message, let me know if it was, and maybe we can keep the videos coming. Thank you.